Lawmakers today are paying tribute to South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, who died unexpectedly last night after a brief and sudden illness. One of President Trump's closest allies in Congress, the 71-year-old, was an Air Force lawyer before serving in Congress for over 3 decades. One of the most influential figures in Washington on foreign affairs, Graham was known for his fervent advocacy for an aggressive U.S. foreign policy. And joining me now is Florida Congresswoman and former DNC Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She serves on the House Appropriations Committee. It's always good to have you, Congresswoman. I want your thoughts on the sudden passing of Senator Lindsey Graham, because it was pretty shocking news overnight.
Thanks for having me, Alex, as always. It is always shocking, and you have a sudden death of a member of Congress. We lost Doug LaMalfa a few months ago, very suddenly as well, Republican from California. Now Lindsey Graham. I think, first of all, my heart goes out to Senator Graham's family, especially his sister. I think he should be remembered for raising her in the wake of the death of their parents, and certainly for his military service.
Well, let's talk about what you are doing right now, which is running for re-election in Florida's 20th congressional district, recently created when Republicans redrew that state's maps. You're not in the 22nd district, which is where you've served for over 2 decades. I've introduced you how many times as representing that district. You have the 20th district, which has long been represented by a black Democrat. In your decision to run for that seat, it has sparked some backlash from leaders and candidates who argue that you're slighting black voters, potentially undermining black political representation. Given Republicans' efforts to wipe out districts long held by black Democrats across this country, what is your response to that critique?
Well, I've represented the 25th district, the 23rd district, and the 20th district throughout my tenure in Congress, because Republicans have redistricted our congressional map so many times more than what should have happened between the normal decennial census. And with this map, because they have an agenda that they know will result in them losing the majority, they are having to rig the maps all across the country, including here in Florida, in order to try to make it more likely that they hold on to their slim majority, because they know the voters won't be there for them. And so what they did in Florida was that they took the Democratic strongholds of Tampa, Orlando, and especially Broward County, the bluest county in the state, and they blew up our districts to smithereens and made all of the congressional districts that, as they exist now, unrecognizable. We have fair districts in our Constitution that are required, that prohibit partisan gerrymandering, prohibit incumbent gerrymandering, require that districts are compact and that they keep cities whole. I'm having now, as our members of Congress and candidates across the state, to ask people literally what side of a street they live on to determine whether or not they live in the district that I'm running for. That is exactly what voters said they did not want. They did not want partisan gerrymandering. And I'm running because what Republicans intend to do was make sure that my county lost its political power. And I want to make sure that someone with my level of experience, who can deliver as a senior member of the Appropriations Committee, bringing home resources from everything from our airport to the Everglades to wastewater and parks, that I can be there to deliver, and Republicans are not able to take away our political power. Voters have been responding to me that they want to make sure that I continue to have my strong voice representing our community.
Yesterday, as you know, the most sweeping housing bill in decades became law without President Trump's signature because he chose to use it as leverage to pass his SAVE Act elections integrity bill. When a bipartisan measure meant to expand housing supply and lower costs for working families is held hostage politically, what does that tell voters about where this president's priorities really are?
Alex, when President Trump actually had the nerve to say that housing affordability is a big yawn of an issue, it tells you all you need to know about how President Trump feels about the affordability plight that Americans are really struggling with. People here in South Florida, I hear from them all the time, their biggest cost in their family budget is housing. Rent is out of control. A mortgage is out of reach. I have 3 young adult children who all have jobs, all have college degrees, and they all live at home. They don't have the possibility, like my husband and I did, to buy a home when we were in our 20s. It'll be quite a while before that's possible. And the same goes for families all across America. That's an unacceptable situation. And we have to make sure that we take the law that thankfully passed in a bipartisan way and make sure that we can address affordable housing. We brought home resources to make sure that we can have micro affordable housing, as well as the broader effort that this bill will result in now that it's law.